Hello? Hello?
Oh, my microphone was off, sorry. Hello.
There we go. Hi.
Awesome. Oh, now I'm popping out.
Nope. We're good.
Okay, I'm in. Awesome.
So, game one of the cast of Set E. In the bottom left is Makin. Makin, who is the brown Terran. And in the top right position is Zangetsu. Zangetsu? Sure. Let's go with Zangetsu. Who is the Teal Zerg. Is this the first TVZ?
Yes.
I think that this is the first TVZ I've casted for ASL. Alright.
We rarely had Zerg overall, I felt.
Yeah. And then when you left, there were a good number of Zergs, but Elegant never lost.
Oh, okay.
So it was just Protoss versus something, Protoss versus something, Protoss versus something. Spoilers, I guess. Alright. So, TVZ on match point. Obviously you don't play T or Z, so I don't know how much insight you can provide in it. But I like this one. I like this one a lot. It really, it's strong for Mutalisks. This is one of the absolute worst naturals in all of StarCraft for holding off Mutalisk harass. It's just so damn easy for the Mutalisk to pop in and out. And the cliff actually curves a little bit to give maximum protection for the Mutalisks. You can get a turret behind, which is nice, but that's about all that this map affords you in that regard. And then when it comes to the center, it's so... it's really open, which can be good or bad for Terran, depending on whether they went mech or bio. It's certainly an interesting map. I really do like this map.
Yeah, middle, which is that open, I think is the best to go on mech and just stand in one big line and just save the middle, expand a lot. What he's lolling about?
Oh,
he killed a drone with his SCV in the Zerg's main base.
Oh. The SCV was blocking that hatchery from going down, and one of the drones was pulled back after the hatchery was started, but I guess that SCV pursued and was able to finish it off. Does manage to pick up the SCV again, which is even more hilarious, apparently. Alright. So, factory for Makin. You do see your fair share of Wraith builds on this map. Not as much as some other maps, but you do see it now and then. Don't know if that's what Makin's going for. But he does have a lot of options at this point. Could go Wraiths. Ooh, it will be a 2-port Wraith build. Interesting. Alright. I do love me some 2-port Wraith. Now, Zangetsu has already thrown down his third hatchery. He needs to get the scout off pretty soon here. He does have the Overlord, he can see the Vulture. Now, a lot of very good players do like to throw down the Hydralisk Den immediately after seeing Mech. Just because Hydralisks are going to be good versus Mech in small numbers, and they're also going to be good versus Wraiths. And they're also good against dropship harass, I guess, if you're going to go for really quick Vulture drops. So, I mean, he did do the bare minimum. You do absolutely need to get that Sunken Colony up. And, oh, Makin, with a mistake there, you can get a Vulture by one Sunken Colony if you just power right through it, but he did not, so it's going to cost him that Vulture. Does not get a single shot off. And no Hydralisk Den. Well, it's just going to be hard. It's going to be hard to hold off those wraiths. Considering that he hasn't started his lair yet. Lair's actually a little bit late.
What is interesting, we have a little circling run by only 3 non-speed circlings, but still annoying.
Yeah, those were the Zerglings that moved out initially, then got slowed down by a, get slowed down by the scouting SCV that they chased down. Now resuming their quest towards Makin's main. Do get in, do manage to even pick off an SCV, but more importantly than that SCV kill, they see the Wraiths, giving him a little bit of time to prepare something. And it's going to be up to the Hydralisks and the and the Spore Colonies to shut this down. The lair is only just starting now, so Mutalisks are not coming out for a very long time here. And how much damage is he going to be able to do with Wraiths? That Spore Colony has a very nice vision, a very nice range. And oh, they do damage to the Wraiths very quickly. Wraiths have no armor. But a lot of these Overlords are pretty far away from the Spore Colony. That one's definitely in pick-off range. And then could be going after some of these drones. Spore Colony is built a little bit far up. So I don't think these very bottom drones are protected. Even though the lasers on the Wraith have a very small range. I still don't think it's going to quite be enough. Vulture, with the mine upgrade, now going to lay down some mines, just to see when our Zerg player does go for a third base. Really, though, that's not the most likely spot for a Zerg third. More likely to go after a gas base. Probably at the bottom, but possibly at the 12 o'clock. Hydralisk coming up, but it's only one Hydralisk, and it won't be able to pick off the Wraiths. More Hydralisk coming in, but Cloak is engaged. So the Hydralisk cannot do anything, and now, oh, he's trying to bring all of his drones to mine gas, but that's actually not working, and the drones are taking hits here. It's going to cost him 2 drones before he realizes that pulling them like that is not going to save them. Now all of them are transferring back to the other base. The Overlord can now see the Wraiths. They're taking a little bit shot from the Hydralisks, but they get out of there. Has not lost a single Wraith yet, and that's what matters. What is next? He's getting a second factory. It looks like he's stopping Wraith production. Interestingly. Does he still have... Oh, it looks like he did lose 1 Wraith. I didn't see that one go down, but there are only 2 Wraiths here. One with 6 kills. Very nice Wraith.
Yeah, would you have thought that he would do so much damage? I mean, Zerg was in general pretty well prepared for those raids. But yeah, he managed to kill a lot of drones, which surprised me personally a lot.
The Hydralisk Den was just too late. You can get away without a Hydralisk Den, but usually you get away with that Hydralisk Den because you went for a faster Spire. But the Spire was so late too, so it wasn't a matter of stalling until Mutalisk got out. If he had gotten the Hydralisk Den appropriately timed as soon as he saw that Vulture, then he would have had some Hydralisks out to deal with the initial Wraiths before Cloak happened, and they would not have been able to do that much. And oh no! Accidentally flying into the range of the Spore Colony, and it's going to cost him all of his Wraiths. Small mistake there. Now Hydralisk going in for a counterattack, but there are a lot of mines to try to stop this. There is even an Overlord to see mines. Oh boy, but those tanks are doing a lot of damage as those Hydralisks have forced to clear the mines first. They do manage to get 1 tank. Can they get another one? No, I don't think they're going to be able to get another one. They do clear out all of the mines, but I think all the Hydralisks are going to be lost here. So trading a control group of Hydralisks for a tank of Vulture and a whole heap of mines. And wow, a 4th factory for Makin. It's a lot of factories. Army is on the way. I'm not exactly sure what Zangetsu is going to transition into. Because he has the lair, but he hasn't... Okay. He is now getting the Spire. He can go Mutalisks, but it's getting pretty late for Mutalisks. There certainly is something to be said for the late Mutalisk transitions that can really catch an opponent by surprise, but I don't know. It's all going to come down to the execution. Hydra's coming in. This time, no minefield to protect the tanks. So already 2 tanks down as the Hydralisks move forwards. There is no siege mode for these siege tanks. Apparently, if there was siege mode, these Hydralisks wouldn't be so much of a problem. But these Hydralisks are actually going to be able to do a good amount of damage. And oh, there we go. Siege mode is now finished. It looks like it was already researched because none of those were spinning when we checked them beforehand. It does look like Zangetsu is going to go for a third that has a gas, and it's not going to be this one. It is going to be the 12 o'clock. Doty, which expansion do you like more? You think it's better you went for the 12 o'clock, or should he have gone for 5?
I would have gone for 5.
You would have gone
But
for 5?
yeah, it's not too much of a difference, I think, when you go from the way you have to run. But yeah, just from my mind it tells me that the 12 o'clock somehow is a little bit more dangerous to take. But yeah, I don't, it's an odd choice to expand, I think.
Well, Mutalisks are on the way now, and armor has immediately been started as soon as the Spire finishes, so you might be committing to Mutalisks for a little while. That top base is usually taken by the Zerg when they want to go for Mutalisks. Man, you're right. This battle is going horribly for Makin. I don't know why he won't use siege mode. It's a really good thing.
Yeah, he still have won the fight, but as you said, siege would have make him like lose 4 tanks less or 3. I think he would lost 3 overall, right? I don't know.
I mean, he would have still lost some, but really not very many. Man.
Now the Mutas are coming in, and he only has got 2 Goliaths, so that is interesting.
Yeah, this Mutalisk transition is going to catch Makin off guard, and he will lose the rest of the tanks.
Now he's starting to produce 4 more Goliaths out of his factories, but it's going to take a while for them to finish. Sadly, the Zerg doesn't realize how unprepared the Terran is for these Mutalisks, so he rather snipe off some tanks and not go into the main base or kill off the turrets. Now he does so.
Yeah, and he has enough Mutalisks, it doesn't matter.
Wow,
Those turrets
that's a
will
lot.
not do enough damage. I mean, he probably should be focusing down the turrets first, but
Yeah.
instead just going to go after all the tanks. All the tanks are dead. Now the Mutalisks can go after whatever they want. And, man, you just kind of get the impression that neither player has a whole lot of familiarity with this build. Because Makin, he went for his 2-port, and then his 2-port did a lot of damage, but his transition after the 2-port, it just seems kind of confused. He doesn't really know exactly what he wants to go for. And Zangetsu, he kind of went for the textbook defense of how you're supposed to stop a 2-port and what the transition is afterwards, but his defense didn't exactly work. And now with this kind of awkward late Mutalisk transition, it's really working out for him. Lots of SCVs going down as they're pulled to try to stop the Hydralisks. I don't know, man, this game...
Oh, but he's taking so much turret hits, losing all of his Mutalisks.
Man.
Now they're about even in supply, but I think this whole situation helped the Zerg out a lot. I already felt like he had lost the game, but now with the Terran being so unprepared for Mutalisks, this brings him back into the game. At least I feel so. We see.
Yeah. So, obviously, he did a lot of damage. He took out a lot of tanks there, and that was really good. Also took out a lot of turrets. But did he take out a lot of SCVs? I don't know if there's been that much damage economically done. to
No, he didn't.
Makin.
I don't think so.
I mean, he got some of the SCVs when they were being pulled, but this counter doesn't quite count right. So
Oh, mine! Kills off 3 Hydralisks, damaging 2.
this counter doesn't count right. So it wasn't 12. It wasn't that severe. It was something. I just don't know if the economic damage has been done for Zangetsu. And he threw away his entire army to take out a bunch of tanks. It's obviously going to make Makin weaker, but it's not enough. It didn't do enough damage to really make pushing a more viable option. It made expanding a more viable option, and I think Zangetsu might be better off just trying to expand like mad at this point, because he knows Makin is going to be a little bit weak without that many tanks.
Yeah.
Although, Makin is moving out, and Zangetsu seems to be having a problem stopping it at this point. More Mulas coming in, though. The Goliaths are somewhat injured. Is that going to be enough Goliaths? I don't think so. I think that's still going to be a superior number of Mutalisks to take out...
Good control. Good control.
Yeah, good control from both players. It's not going to be enough from Makin, it looks like. No, it's not going to be enough for Makin. And now the Mutalisks can start attacking the siege tanks. Yet more siege tank gone. So many siege tanks have died this game. And man, forces a cancel on the command center even. Oh, is he gonna take mine hits? It looks like he stopped moving. Probably a good idea.
Yeah, we see some Vultures driving around, harassing the 12 o'clock, but there's a Sunken and some Hydralisks, killing off 2 Hydralisks and laying some mines, which are very interesting, since if he rallies from the main base and the natural to like in front of the third of Terran, he will run right through that, but he kills off a lot of drones right here. He managed to run through. That's a good move for him. And seems like Zerg got a little bit of an overlord problem. He has got his 1k mines, and yeah, he was stuck in supply. Now he lost some, so he can build a little bit more again. Terra moving out. But do you think this is enough to handle this army the Zerg already has? And he has got a very good upgrades to 1.
I think if Makin controls it properly and keeps his tanks in the correct position, this will be enough. Because I think that this composition of 4 siege tanks with a lot of other support units to keep units away from the 4 siege tanks is ridiculously strong for Terran.
Yeah, that's true.
The issue is he hasn't shown that he's able to make really good engagements in the past. It's... I mean, if he loses the tanks early, then Zangetsu's going to be able to win. But if Zangetsu engages from positions like this, where Makin's perfectly set up, it's just going to be completely one-sided. And now more Hydrals are coming in. He's investing way too much into this attack. Oh, and that's the kind of engagement that Makin has been looking for all game. That's kind of like why you need Siege Mode. Siege Modes are really good.
But look how much SCV he got on his natural. His main base already is almost mined out. And he got like 1,000 SCV on his natural. Hasn't yet lifted his CC and moved it to his third. So he doesn't have too much income when it comes to minerals right now. See how that works out for him, since Zerg is on pretty decent economy with 3 expansions running. Yeah, let's see. Does he even realize the Terran is moving up to his 12 o'clock expansion?
I think he saw with kind of a Mutalisk drift, or a Hydralisk drifted a little bit too far over that way, so, and it got killed. He should realize there are some units out there. I don't know if he knows exactly how severe it is, but now lots of Hydras coming in, trying to stop Makin from taking this third, which he's been successful with all game. Makin has been on 2 bases, and now Makin immediately pulling back. He hasn't quite taken out this base yet, did leave 1 siege tank behind, but it's not in the right position to actually hit the hatchery. And now, it looks like all of Zangetsu's units will be cleaned up, but Makin's on one base. One very close to mined out base. And Zangetsu, even though this is a very scary army, if he stops Makin from taking a base with constant Mutalisk harass, which he can because he can keep producing them, it might just be enough. He doesn't need to win any more engagements.
Yeah, but I feel like Zerg makes not the best decisions when it comes to fight with his army, and he like sends in one group of hydralists and sends in the other second one later, and like in one line. So I don't think he's the most talented player when it comes to fighting, but I like his macro a lot. But that's
I think he needs to.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be playing it the way Asmodia was playing Game 1. He just needs to completely ignore Terran. Just run away from him. Take out this third. Run away from
That's
Terran.
true.
Take out that third, because he is now mined out. That is the only base. I mean, this base doesn't mean anything. It's totally fine if Zangetsu loses one of his 4 expansions. Especially if this base goes up, which it looks like he wants to set it up soon. Have you seen what he used his hype tech for yet?
No, I was wondering the same right now. He could have had Swarm for a long time right now, but somehow he didn't made Swarm, so sadly.
He just excuse me, he just started +3 attack. So that's technically Hive. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't know why he typed up to Hive. If he stayed on Lair, that's a decent amount of gas that would have been conserved. Man, I think Makin, with only one base, might just have this, because Zangetsu can't seem to figure out a way to deal with these. Oh, it's still, is that enough Goliaths to deal with that many Mutalisks? I think it's really going to come down to this. The Mutalisks with their +2 armor are really what's carrying Zangetsu in this game. But I think that this time well, no, no, the Mutalisks will not quite be enough. And with the Goliaths are still alive, all the tanks are alive. Zangetsu, GG's. In a really weird game. A very weird game.
Yeah, definitely. I feel sad for the